Hi everyone, today we're going to be going over my Pretties for Your Face eyeshadow recommendations. I'm going to be talking about some highlighters as well. And I know that this was a very requested video because Pretties for Your Face has a lot of eyeshadows and it can be overwhelming. And also their shadows are not all made equally. Some are amazing and some are, just really lackluster. So I tried my best. I have 3 palettes here with the shadows, and I try my best to pull out all the ones that I would recommend. But of course, if there's one that I haven't talked about, but you've seen elsewhere that it looks promising but you're not fully sure, you can always just message me on Instagram, and if I do have the eyeshadow, I will let you know if I would recommend it or not, because the formula can be pretty inconsistent. So just be careful out there. I feel Pretties for Your Face can be a lot like Looksy, where you're paying very little for an eyeshadow and you can get something amazing, or like Luster, and it's kind of worth the gamble. But because Pretties for Your Face has so many options, you could end up placing a big order and then getting half of them being lackluster shades. So hopefully this will give you some ideas on what to get if you've been meaning to place an order but you're just confused, you're not sure. I also have to say that I am affiliated with Pretties for Your Face. I do have a discount code. Regina gets you 20% off. So, and of course that also gets me a store credit every time you guys use it. So a lot of these eyeshadows I was able to get thanks to you guys using my code. So I have to disclose that, and I also have created two eyeshadows with them, which are also included in this selection. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we can get started. So the first shadow I want to talk about is the first shade that I created with Mag, which is the owner of Pretties for Your Face. This is the shade called Kitty, and it's a very special eyeshadow to me because I wanted to create something that would be like a glossy veil. So I feel like if you haven't seen me talk about it and you get this eyeshadow, you might be disappointed at it. So because it does come with, you need instructions on how to use it, I think, to really get the best out of it. Because if you just apply this as a regular shimmer, it is a bit of a flaky, a chunkier shade. You're just gonna get a lot of white, you see? It is gonna look just mostly white and not very shiny. It kind of looks pretty here on the camera now, but I can tell you, if you just put this on your eyes, unless you really like white eyeshadows, this doesn't look the best. It looks a bit chunky, it's not very reflective. The way that I like to use this eyeshadow, it's like a glossy veil. And for that, you need to apply it with a brush. But not only that, you also need to make sure that your skin is not fully dry. If you have, my hand is pretty dry now. I'm gonna try to show you. If you apply it with a brush on dry skin, let me see if I can show you. It just fluffs away. You see the chunks? Oh God, can I focus? The chunks are just gonna fluff away. So you need to have something on your skin. Most of the time that I'm wearing eyeshadow, I am using, I have either a moisturizer on my eyelid or an eye cream or sunscreen. I guess 99% of the time I have sunscreen underneath. And if it's a slightly tacky sunscreen, that will work. But if you have full on dry eyelid, it is not going to work. And this is going to be true for most of these shadows here. If your lids are full on dry, they're not going to look the best. You need something. It doesn't have to be glitter glue. I would actually say at least for this shade, glitter glue, it's not the way to go. It's going to look very chunky. It's going to end up looking very white again. It just needs to have a little bit of moisture on your eyelid for it to stick to it, but not too much, so that you can still blend it out. So the way I use it is I will just get a fluffy brush like this. Is it focusing? A fluffy brush like this, and dust it on my inner corner, on my brow bone, and also use it as a face highlighter. It looks very, very beautiful as a face highlighter. So I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna take away the chunks that didn't stick. I'm gonna put a little bit of sunscreen, because this is what I have on my eyelids most of the time, as I said. This sunscreen in particular, I don't like on my eyelids, but I did this just to demonstrate. So it's not like a super, sticky or tacky sunscreen, but it has, it ends up, it feels like there's something there. And that's all you need. Now I'm gonna apply it as if I was applying it on my eyes. So just take a little bit and buff it. I'm gonna apply a little bit more than what I usually do just so that you can really see on the camera. Hopefully you will be able to see. Okay, I think you can see. You see that glossiness there? This is the eyeshadow. I can put more so that you can really see. I'm gonna put it on this side as well. And I like using this pretty much when I have like a mostly sparkly eye look and I want to like blend the sparkles better into my skin. This is what I'm gonna use to like make that blend more seamless. And as I said, it also works beautiful as a highlighter because when the light's not hitting it, I think you can see it's totally transparent. There are 3 other shades that I want to talk about that are like in the same family as Kitty, and I think some of these have been made in collaboration with other creators, and I will leave them tagged below. But they're all different. Kitty, I would say it's sheer, silver white with blue sparkles on it that just adds to the glossiness. These others are not necessarily the same. Let me just go over. So the first one here is red light, green light. This one is the closest to Kitty, but it has, green and red sparkles on it. But it's again, it's mostly silver. I would say it's the closest to Kitty. But I feel like all of these work if you use your finger and use them as toppers or like on your inner corner. Just Kitty that I feel like you need to use a brush with it. So I will probably give you a closer look later, but this is red light, green light. Then we have Tesseract. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This one is quite chunky, but it is a golden kind of shade. It has a lot of warmth to it, but it's not like, it's like a really warm gold. It's pretty neutral. I feel like these lights are not really showing you the best. I will give you a closer look and hopefully you can see it better. And the last one I have here is Weenie. Weenie is similar to Tesseract, but it's more like a green gold. You're gonna see, it looks more cool toned, right? I think you can see that. All of these, as I said, I like as toppers on other eyeshadows. And they're all a little bit chunky, but I would say Tesseract is the chunkiest of them all. Now I'm going to talk about some shades that I feel like don't have a lot of formulas they don't have a lot of shades in that same formula. And the first one here is Moby. I think this was also created in collaboration with another creator, and I will tag them below. This is a very interesting shade. It's a very hard pressed shadow. And it doesn't feel promising, I feel like, the first time you use it. But if you just have like something, as I said, like something tacky, and you just layer it, you can get it to look really glossy. It's like a matte brown with these green-blue sparkles. What I like to do with this one is to apply it as a one and done and then go in with the second layer and really build it up. You can see how glossy it looks. It's a really pretty shade. Then we have Toil. Toil is one that I would say fits into the shiny metallic category that I'm going to talk about later, but it is less shiny than the others. And this is one of those shades that I like to wear when I want to do like a very clean makeup look and just have like some sort of depth on my eyelids and some sort of shine, but like very, very subdued. So don't expect this to be like ultra glossy, ultra shiny. This is more of like a your eyelids, but better on my skin tone. It does add some depth, but if I just apply like a sheer veil of it, it just looks very flattering. But again, it's not super shiny, not super sparkly, it's subtle, okay? So if you're looking for sparkly eyeshadows, like I usually want all the sparkle, but there's something really elegant about this shade. And then if I said it, it's Toil. It's like a cool toned base with some blue shimmer. Then we have Graphite Dream. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it graphite or graphite? I have no idea. This is one that I think also fits in the shiny metallic category, but it has some sparkles on it. So I put it separately. I mean, this is the kind of shade that I like, but it's like, if you don't like these, you know, kind of like taupey grays, you probably won't like this. But I really like using this to like build a look and then going in with a sparklier shade on top. I will give you a closer look later so you can see that it has some like big silver sparkles. And then we have this another shade that I created with Meg, which is called Gina. And this is a light purpley taupe base with silver sparkles, like small silver sparkles, and bigger green sparkles. This is the most kind of flattering shade on me. It looks very good as a one and done. And I think you can see it is a sparklier, but it's not ultra sparkly, okay? I just want to keep your expectations closer to reality, because sometimes things can look better in camera. But yeah, it definitely has some shine, you see? Oh. Now we're going to talk about a formula that I think the majority of their shadows have, which is a shiny metallic formula. It's not ultra shiny. It does sometimes have some sparkles on them. It varies a little bit from shade to shade. You're going to see some are a bit sparklier, but overall I would say they are more metallic and less sparkly. They work really well as one and done shades. They also work on the inner corner very well. They just have something very elegant about them, and you can always like add something else on top if you want to make it extra sparkly. So the first shade we're going to swatch is Hidden Treasure. That is such a beautiful shade. I think it was also a collab with another creator. I will of course link everything down below. It's like this mint green with a little bit of pink. It's one of the shiniest ones in this formula, for sure. I think you can see. I will give you a closer look later. Then we have Eliza. Eliza is similar, but it is warmer. It has like a gold sheen, and it's a bit less shiny. Then we have And Peggy. And Peggy is similar to Eliza. It's just a slightly different tone of green and a little bit lighter, but also has that kind of gold sheen. And as I said, these work better if you have, you know, a slightly moisturized base. It doesn't have to be glitter glue, just not full on dry skin. My skin is pretty dry because of, you know, I just washed it, but they look shinier if your skin is lightly moisturized. This is Pussycat. They have a lot of these like light greens, but they're so pretty I had to include them all. And I think you can see Pussycat and Hidden Treasure are shinier than the other two. This is Campgrounds. It's like a sheer bright green. And this is Enchantment. This is similar to Hidden Treasure. In theory, it's like a green with the pink sparkle, like the pink sheen, but it's a different tone, I think you can see, right? It's more, I think there's more blue in it. I don't know, sometimes I have a hard time describing greens and blues. This is Childlike Empress, and this is such a cool shade. It's like a sheer gray base with this bluish, yeah, it's a blue sheen, right? It's not green, it's blue. It's a really pretty shade. Another one that it works beautiful as a one and done because it kind of like, it's hard to tell like what's going on your eyes. This is Globetrotter. This is such a cool shade. It's such a bright green with blue, like with the blue sheen. This one can look super, super glossy if you add like a glitter glue underneath. or something really tacky underneath. This is light as a feather. This has like a very, very light purple base, like sheer pinky purple base with the blue reflect. Another one that works really well if you have something tacky underneath. I'm gonna see if I can show you the pink. I don't think I can. It's very subtle, very subtle. And the last one I'm gonna put on this arm is Misty, which is a very high shine blue with gold, with a gold sheen. This is Angelica. It's like a warm champagne shade, almost gold, I would say. I think this one used to be like a face highlighter and they made it into a single eyeshadow because it works both ways. Okay, this is Cobweb. This is a newer one, but it's so pretty. It's like, it has like a slight peachy base with these kind of green gold sheen. This one works very well as a one and done shade. This is Sand Dollar. This one is similar to Cobweb, but a little bit more pink. And I think it doesn't have as much dimension as Cobweb does, but it's still really pretty. It's like a pink with a gold sheen. This is Cham Cham, which is like a baby pink. There's a little bit of peach in it. This is Razzmatazz, and it's like the perfect Barbie pink. It has a little bit of a blue reflect. This is Moonlight Magic, which is like the purple version of Razzmatazz. It has a similar sheen, just on a purple base. This is Sweetness. It's not as shiny as the other ones, but I like the tone of it. It's like this dusty purple. This is the Smiley. Smiley is similar in tone to Moonlight Magic, but Moonlight Magic has that blue reflect, while Smiley has a more purple reflect. It's like a light purple reflect on a deeper purple base. Okay, this is Underground. It's another one of those like gray shades that I like. I really like this one to build up looks and then put something sparkly on top. I see there's a shade I wanted to swatch with the pinks that I forgot. This is Valentine Baby, because I had to put it on another palette because it didn't fit. This is like a very light pink. This one works great on the inner corner. Now we're gonna move on to like the greens and neutrals. This is one of my favorites. This is called Explosive, and it's one of those classic, you know, brown, green duochromes. It has like a warm, it has a warm brown base with green, with a green sheen. It's very similar to Terra Moon's Hot Spice Cider, but it's much cheaper if you get it on a sale. This is Love's Band, which is like a cooler toned version of Hot Spice Cider. It has like a gray base, but it's a sheer gray base with this more cool toned green sheen. I have to stop myself from saying sparkle because it's not really a sparkle, it's more of a sheen. Then this is one of my all-time favorites. It's called Nightingale. It has like a neutral brown base with these champagne, slightly green sheen. It's such a beautiful one and done. I love this one. When I travel, this is one of those that usually comes with me if I'm taking a magnetic palette. Then I have a few on the same family. This is Lucky Stars. It's a little bit more cool toned. I know it looks warmer on the camera, but it's like more taupe, and it doesn't have the dark base. It's a bit lighter. And this is Bornak, which is the lightest of them all. Oh. For me, these all go together, you know, like if you like this one, you will like the other ones. I like Bornak so much that I bought it twice without noticing I already had it. That is definitely the most cool tone of them all. Okay, this is Sunlit. This is one of those shadows that like could also be like, you know, a no makeup look. Very subtle if you have a similar skin tone to mine. This is Embrace. It's a beautiful bronzy, like olive bronze, I guess. Really pretty shade. I don't think it's super unique, but it's really pretty. You know, whenever I use this, I think of the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I feel like it should be like similar to a shade in that palette. Okay, this is Rock Biter. The next two are gonna be like in the same family, like of the like blue-brown duochromes. This one has like a brownish burgundy base with this blue sheen. And the next one, it's called Heat Wave. And this has even more purple base. And the sparkle, the sheen, it's more purple. It's a bluish purple, and it shifts to purple. I think what you're seeing is the shift, but I will show you closer that it's blue that shifts to purple. This one I think you can see is a bit thinner than Rock Biter. I'm having to layer it a bit for you to see. And Rock Biter I think is also darker, as you can see. So now I'm going to talk about the sparkly shades. The formulas vary. Some are like a smooth, sparkly. Some are flaky. Some are flaky and smooth, and some are flaky and gritty. So I'm going to try to tell you which formula they are as I swatch them. But first I want to talk about one that I have in a highlighter pan, but they do sell it as an eyeshadow now. And this is a shade, oh, I think I could fit it there. Yeah. This is a shade that lots of brands have a version of. It's the iridescent blue that shifts purple. I can tell you for sure that Oden Zai has a big highlighter like this, and Kimchi Beauty has a highlighter like this as well. And you know, they charge like 5 times the price of this one. So I really wanted to talk about it. It's super shiny and sparkly. So beautiful. You can see, right? I'm gonna show you the shift later when I give you the closer look. But yeah, oh sorry, I didn't even say what this is. This is Icicle. There's another shade that's supposed to be the same formula called True Love, and I'm just waiting for it to come to me because I did order it, and I will let you know if it's the same formula. It looks just so glossy. Okay, so the first one we have here is Titan. I would say this is a smooth, sparkly formula. Doesn't feel very gritty to me. This one is so beautiful. I've used this one many times. I really like it. This is Harvest Moon, which is similar to Titan, but it's like lighter and it doesn't have that base. This is Interstellar. It is a flaky and it does feel gritty. But it doesn't bother me on my eyes, but if you have, you know, sensitivity to flaky shades that feel like, you know, a little gritty, this might not be for you. but this is Interstellar. It has like this grayish, kind of slightly green base with the gold sparkles. This is Oberon. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. This one also feels gritty, but a little bit less gritty than Interstellar. And it's a similar concept. It has like these, but this one's more neutral. I think you can see it's not so gray, like a neutral brown, slightly cool tone maybe, base with the gold sparkles. Really, really pretty. This is Golden Glitz. This one also is flaky and it feels also gritty. It's a very neutral gold. This is Thankful. I love this one. This is like a copper base, which I don't usually use, but it has these like almost green sparkles on it. It just looks so glossy whenever I use this on my eyes, and I think you can see on my arm how shiny it is. And then another one with a very similar formula. Oh, I didn't say. This one is slightly flaky, but not too gritty. And the other one that has a similar formula is Jack-o'-lantern, which is an orange, and this one has green sparkles. This one is slightly flaky, but doesn't feel gritty at all. Okay, now we're gonna do the yellows. They have quite a few of these flaky yellows, but these two are my favorites. I think they are shinier than the other ones. This is just a very shiny yellow. It has like no shift. It's like a yellow base with yellow sparkles. I don't think I have anything quite like it. It is a flaky, but it feels, you know, it doesn't feel great. It feels pretty smooth. Look at that, it's beautiful. And of course I did not say the name, Horizon. Beautiful. And then the other one, which I think is a bestseller, it's called Flare, which is a yellow with a blue, like a purpley blue sparkle. And they came out with this when other brands didn't have shades like this, and I think it's still really pretty. And also it's like flaky, but it feels pretty smooth. So this is Horizon, this is Flare, in case I didn't say that. This is Ether. It's also a flaky shade, but it's pretty smooth. And I wore this on Christmas, and oh my God, it was so beautiful. Look at this, it's amazing. I don't think I have anything quite like this. Then we have Brocade, which is another classic from them, which is like this more grungy green. Also so sparkly. And then we have, sorry, which one is this? Hobgoblin, which is also flaky, but it does feel gritty. These two don't feel gritty. This one does feel gritty. And this is one that I think looks best if you have some sort of a tacky base, so that it really looks glossy. It's like this like lime green with pink sparkles. Like it has like silver and pink, but I think what really makes it unique is the pink. This is Eclipse, another one of my favorites. This one is flaky. It is a little bit gritty, but not as gritty as some of the other ones. It's the blue with this like, it has like silver and gold, but I think mostly gold sparkles. Such an intense eyeshadow. Then this is Kilowatt. This one is pretty smooth. I think you can see it's also thinner. I will have to build it up a little bit. It has a sheer gray base with these blue, purpley blue sparkles. It's a really pretty shade. It is much thinner than the other ones, you see. So this one also benefits from a tacky base. That's a pretty interesting shade. And then we have A Frog Amongst Fairies. This is A Frog Amongst Fairies. This one is also on the thinner side. I'm gonna build it up a bit. This one also, you know, benefits from a glitter glue, but it's quite sparkly and it shifts to purple It's really pretty. This one is Cosmos. It is a flaky shade and it does feel pretty gritty. It's like a very light purple with like silver and gold sparkles. It's a pretty unique shade. This is Asteroids. This one is pretty smooth. It's not a flaky. It's just sparkly. It has this like taupey purple base with the purple sparkles. This one is really pretty. One of my favorites for sure. And then we have Solstice, which is probably my top favorite of all of them. I know it's also a bestseller for them. This one is not flaky. It feels maybe a teeny tiny bit gritty. Like I can feel it as I smooth it out, but you know, not compare. Like it's not as gritty as it's not as gritty as Cosmos or the other ones. But it's this purple base with these blue sparkles. It's so beautiful. Probably, yeah, definitely. Probably my top favorite from them. This is Supernova. This one also feels maybe a teeny tiny bit gritty, but not really much. Another one of those that like it's like a kind of kind of grayish purple that I really like, but you know it has to be like a shade that you're into to like it. This is Death Do Us Part. This one is very smooth. I don't feel like any of the sparkles at all. Another one that like you have to be in into this kind of tone to like it. But it's like this really dark purple with some gray in it, and it has some lighter purple sparkles. This is Plume, another one that's very smooth. This is such a cool shade. It has like, I don't know, bluish, purple, grayish base, very light base. And then it has these, purpley pink sparkles that shift gold. It's a very cool shade. This is Electrified. This one also feels very smooth. This one is similar in a way to Plume. It has this, like, again, grayish, purpley base with these pink purple sparkles that also shift gold. I wonder if it's the same kind of like pigment in different colored bases. I think this one is more purple and this one's more pink, the shine. But they have like the same shift to like green gold. Another one of my favorites, it's called Jote. I had to go to a wedding last year and this was the shade I used. I felt so pretty on it. It's like this rose gold base with mostly gold sparkles. Okay, and the last one is a sparkly black. If you like me love a sparkly black, this is Outer Space. They have many sparkly blacks. This is my favorite. It's really like a charcoal black base with lots of silver sparkles. And last but not least, I want to talk about a few highlighters. They have lots of highlighters and they're usually pretty nice. They have a few colorful ones and also like you can also use them on your eyes. But these are my favorite highlighters for the face. This was the first one that I got. It's called Candy Corn and it kind of smells like candy corn. I like my highlighters to look glossy but not super bright. I don't know how well this swatch will. Yeah, I feel like the swatch is looking pretty like colorful, but I swear to you, if you just swirl a brush there, you're not gonna get so much of the orange and yellow. Maybe I can show you my finger because I feel like it's better represented on my finger. I never had an issue with that one looking orange or yellow on my face. I just want to make that clear because I think it's, on the swatch, it's looking like yellow and orange, right? But yeah, if you just swirl a brush, you're not going to get that. You're just going to get like a beigey, like neutral sheen. Maybe warm. Yeah, I think it's warm, but like not too warm because the sheen is like silver. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting one. Then the other two that I like, it's Just a Curse. And these two are like more beigey. This one's a bit more gold and the next one is a bit more pink, but they're very similar. I don't think you need both. And this one is Honeycomb. Yeah, this one is a little bit more cool tone and Just a Curse is a little bit more warm. This is it. I hope that this was helpful. As I said before, if you have any questions, you can just leave me a comment below or you can just message me on Instagram and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Thank you and I'll see you on my next one.